Hello and welcome to the Podquest of Bread. My name is Henry Conley, and tonight we're going to talk about something that I have looked forward to talking about for a long time, and that is Donald Trump's taxes and what they show us and what they tell us as far as truths, half-truths, and lies that the President of the United States has told and sold to his cult of supporters. So, of course, tonight, the New York Times dropped a bombshell article that really shines some light on what Donald Trump has actually been doing, where his money has been going, how much he's paying in federal income taxes. News for you, if you haven't read the article, you're paying more than he is. I can almost guarantee it. So, in 2016 and 2017, Donald Trump paid $750 in federal income taxes for 2016 and then again in 2017. He had paid no income taxes at all in 10 of the 15 previous years, mostly because he reported massive losses. See, Donald Trump, the president who campaigned on being a smart businessman, someone who runs excellent businesses, a whole conglomerate of golf courses, all these different retail environments, all these different structures that he says makes him so qualified for the job to run the country. It's a lie. In fact, he's reported losses in almost all of his businesses. We should have seen it coming, though, but some people ignore the truth. See, Donald Trump also, within the taxes, it shows that he's started to collect an additional $5 million a year through his Mar-a-Lago property since 2015. And he's also been experiencing some spikes in profits recently from some of his other properties, including his golf resorts in Scotland and other resorts around the world. It also paints the picture that he's paid more in taxes to foreign countries than he has the very country that he is the president of the president of. See, Donald Trump running for president out of the blue, without any inkling that he was going to do this, there had to be an ulterior motive. He's a crook. He's a thief. And of course, he's not just going to run for the president of the United States just because he wants to fix the country. There had to be another reason. Now, what the Times got their hands on was not his full income tax report. It wasn't a full picture of everything. It didn't show 2018 and 2019's taxes. But from what it shows is that he's also received a slight boost in the profitability of his name. Mainly because the President of the United States, that's a pretty impressive title. Now, Donald Trump, on top of paying, $750 in taxes in 2016, $750 in taxes in 2017, he also is trying to fight the IRS over a massive tax refund he received. Now, a refund that the IRS says that he didn't deserve to get, a $73 million refund. The belief is that he was he filed fraudulently for this, and that he actually did not deserve the $73 million back. And in the midst of a campaign that is bursting at the seams with bills and expenses and lacking the income that he needs, this is a very dangerous thing for him. Both his tax returns being in the hands of the New York Times and the IRS challenging a $73 million tax refund. One that, if they overturn it, will cost him $100 million. Now, this is all well and good, but now the question I pose to Trump supporters is this. You bought into a guy who campaigned on being a smart businessman, a man who could run businesses and make them profitable, a man who took unprofitable businesses and made them profitable. Well, Now that's been proven to be a lie. Now, I have to ask, do you feel like you've been duped? Do you feel like you've been lied to by someone who has been shown in the past to lie, to be a fraud, and to be a cheat? Do you feel lied to and cheated and defrauded by a person who his own family has said how much of a liar and a cheater and a fraud he is? And now it comes to light that these magnificent businesses that he ran, they actually were holes in the ground that money was stuffed into. We can't forget that Donald Trump has had some of the most amazing failures in the business world. Everything from Trump Airlines, Trump Beverages, Trump Magazine, Trump Mortgage, Trump Steaks, Trump Travel Site, Trump Tower Tampa, Trump University, Trump Vodka, and the worst one of them all, Trump Casinos. Now, you all ignored this in 2016 when we were saying, how can you think that the man who bankrupted a fucking casino is a smart businessman? Casinos, which the business model of them is for people to come in and spend a lot of money hoping to get a lot of money and usually walking out with a lot less money than they walked into. How could you ignore it then, and how can you ignore it now? These businesses that I listed, these businesses are businesses that are designed to succeed. Trump Airlines are designed to succeed. It takes a massive failure for them to not succeed. Beverage companies, they bottle water and sell it for multiple times what it cost them. Trump Magazine, a model designed to succeed at the time that it was. Trump Mortgages, which are designed to bring in massive worth through interest. Trump Steaks, just having his name on it, boosted the value of that steak. Trump, a travel site, a tower, a university, a vodka company. It's all coming to light. He is a failed businessman. He is a person who cannot run a business, and how ironic that the country, which he said he would run like one of his businesses, is tanking at a rate that it has never tanked before. How ironic that the businessman who reported record losses is running a country which is reporting record losses due to a virus, due to a failure of his leadership, due to the failure of him as the chief executive of this country. It's all coming to light. The businessman. That's what he marketed himself as. He marketed himself as a business genius that would turn this country around. He worked diligently to hide his tax returns from the general public, breaking with tradition for presidential candidates. This is just further proof that he does not know what he's doing. And electing him for a second term would be just as dangerous as investing in any of his businesses that he runs. That's just a direct comparison between his tax returns, the New York Times article, and what the future of this country holds. Now, the questions we don't have answered, and the questions that do need to be answered, are ones like, did Donald Trump hide his payment of hush money to Stormy Daniels within one of his businesses and report it as a loss? Because if he did that, that is a massively fraudulent crime. Or did he receive money from a foreign nation, a foreign government, some sort of foreign donor that could be very odd and tie him into something criminal? See, these are two things that we have not had answered. We have not had an answer given to us on these. And we might not get them until this president leaves the White House, when a full list of investigations can be opened against him. The other questions that we come into are, has he made fraudulent moves with money? Has he laundered money through his businesses and reported them as losses? What has he done? Because once you see that someone is a fraudster, a cheat, and a liar, you have to assume that everything else they have done in the past and what has elevated them as a business person, that must also be false. It must also be flawed, and it must be hiding something. It explains why he's worked so diligently to hide it. It explains why he keeps on saying that until the IRS audit is over, he won't release his tax returns. In 2014, Donald Trump said that if he were to run for president, he would release his tax returns. In 2014, he said that. Ever since 2014, he has been working so hard to avoid something like this occurring. New York Times, a very well-respected magazine, a very well-respected news source, reporting on them having their hands on his dirty tax returns. Folks, this type of corruption within a leader of a country is typically not seen in developed countries. In developed countries, typically when the leader is corrupt like this, in developed countries, when it's seen that the leader is doing things that normal people would be locked up and thrown in jail for, in normal countries, developed countries, that leader is arrested. That leader is brought up on charges. That leader is held accountable for their crimes. If I were to pay a fraction of what my tax income is, or my federal income tax is, I would have the IRS knocking down my door. Yet Donald Trump successfully did it in 2016 and 2017. He paid less in taxes than most of the lowest income taxpayers. That's shocking. It's downright disgusting. And yet his people will attempt to cover for it. His campaign came out today and they said that he has paid millions in taxes. But what they seem to be doing is conflating him paying federal income taxes with him paying taxes on his properties, paying taxes that his workers have taken out of their paychecks and things like that. They're trying to work around the word income tax and just say, well, he's paid millions in taxes, in the hopes that it will dupe his followers into repeating that phrase and shutting the whole thing down. That's also dangerous, because what that shows is that the president and his campaign have no interest in being truthful to the American people, let alone his own support base. Countries that have leaders that are guilty of this type of crime, guilty of these types of offenses, are typically authoritarian dictatorships and fascist regimes. How ironic that we are on the fast-paced, goose-stepping march to fascism right now, and we find out that Donald Trump's doing the exact same things. Stay in the streets. Fight for what you believe. Vote. But remember, it's only half of the battle. The other half of the battle is holding people like Trump responsible. Holding people that are cronies to Trump responsible. And taking back the democracy that is the United States of America. Taking back the republic for our own good. Stay beautiful, humans.